How's everybody doing today? Hope you're having a wonderful, productive day today. And today is June 6th, 2017. So just had my morning breakfast, morning coffee at Denny's out here in just south of Columbus, Ohio. And just an interesting conversation I had with a few people. Just sitting around the table, eating breakfast, watching TV. Of course, Fox News is on, which is on at most diners across America. I like to watch and listen because you pick up a lot of key information that isn't necessarily going to be discussed. But here's the thing about it. When you're listening to these news broadcasts, if you will, you can pick up on the things that they want you to key on. And I watch what they said versus the reaction to people in the restaurant. And it was mostly older white men, much older, ready to retire, if not retired. So it's funny because they did not listen and pay attention until they started talking about Hillary Clinton in emails. But every time they started talking about Donald Trump and tax reform and healthcare, they went back to their own conversations, which was interesting because they only perked up to hear key words that they were trained to respond to. But the important things that they should have been paying attention to, as in the tax reform and the repeal of the Affordable Care Act, which are both the same thing, because it is taking money from working class people, myself, and probably most of the people watching this, and also the seniors, redistributing the money that they were getting or going to be getting in the way of Social Security and tax credits and Medicare coverage and Medicaid coverage to fund a tax cut about 30 to 35% for the wealthiest people in America. They don't read into that and they don't understand how it's going to happen, but they do fall for the key words that they're trained to hear about Hillary Clinton, emails, Obamacare. So I just listen. I can't convince people that they need to be more vigilant and do more research. You'll have to do that on your own. But if you find a voice of reason and someone that you trust and that you can see the result of the information they gave you, and you can see the result of the bills and the legislation being passed where it makes a positive life in your difference or a negative difference in your life, you need to you remember that. That's the best I can tell you. And then the next thing went on to radical Islam. And he started talking about London. And these old guys were talking about what London needs to do. Now, none of them even left the country, as far as I could tell by the conversation, because the next segment was about Qatar and Bahrain. And the one guy, as I was reading, he said, what is that? QUA? He couldn't even spell it, let alone know where it was at, to understand that that part of the world has their own goings on about that part of the world. If you've never been there, or if you're not even closely familiar with where it's at and what's going on there, of course, there is a internal dispute among Arabs. It's just always been that way. It just always had Arabs and Muslims, and that has gone back further than this country has been here. You will not be able to use diplomacy. You will not be able to use democracy in those regions because they are strictly religiously tied into their lives and what they do over there. They call it, I guess that would be a sense of dogma. It is for them. And it is something that they believe, but they're secular. It's woven into what they do and what they believe. And they're very dedicated. They really are. They recognize wealth, and they recognize power is equated with wealth. So they're very good at controlling that. And they do that along the lines that are set forth in their own beliefs and their own ideology, which has nothing to do with democracy. However, America is very good at meddling in countries, especially the countries with rich in natural resources, and causing upheaval by offering all kind of deals and alliances that destabilize these countries. And this is how people come to hate Americans. This is how you create terrorists. It's exactly what happens. But you all keep being concerned about your emails and how good you feel about your life today, and don't realize that somebody's pulling the rug from underneath you. Just be more vigilant, dig deeper. Don't listen to everything you hear and take it for the gospel. Just research a little bit more.